back online?
Yes, got a lot of people on.
Yeah, we're waiting
We're
to.
gonna wait until you're done here.
But that's where, okay, that's, or are you, you are going to?
I'm gonna get it. We're going.
Okay, so down, I don't know the 13th.
Yeah.
We're just gonna clean that.
Are we online yet?
So are we back, Wilson?
We're back.
Okay,
Recording.
We're recording.
so, we are now out of executive session, no decisions were made in executive session. We are moving on now with the rest of the agenda. Next item is committee reports, copies were posted to the city website. Do we have a motion and a second to place them on file? The Duane, your shop. Communications, we have 3 communications. Hudson Police Department, data 9 reporting, PwC weekly reporting, and results of the general election. Do we have a motion and second to receive the communications and place them on file? Duane and Churchill. And then with regard to the certification of general election from the Board of Elections, we are now to sign the certificate of election, which Tracy is going to pass around to sign. So while that's going around, we have the bills. Logan, if you could pull up the bills. See if we have any questions on the bills.
No, but I do want to make a comment on one of these bills. So, $2,941, folks, just so everyone knows here in this room that we are renewing our NICOM annual membership.
Yeah.
And what that does is it gives us access to NICOM, the New York State Conference of Mayors and Municipal Officers, including legal advocacy, legal and technical assistance, as well as municipal training. So all these resources are there to our avail because we're paying for them. So we should choose them.
Yeah, I wanted to echo that. Jenny, Rich, and I all went to that meeting this last spring. Year before, I can't recall if we went, but they're really, really good sessions. The winter sessions. They cover, if you're new to government, they have sessions on that. They cover all kinds of aspects of what's going on. You get updates on what's going on in New York State budget, what the issues are that are going on, what kind of opportunities are there. That's where I get guidance on how to approach the 25-mile limit. And you can always, when I do call them, you can call them and ask for advice on, if you have questions, you're not clear about something. They're very, very responsive. They'll respond to you immediately. So I strongly encourage people to attend their sessions and also to take advantage of what they have available. But, Gary, they have, when I was on their website a couple of days ago, they have a session on sidewalk and town liability, which you might be interested in looking at. But take a look at their website. They're really excellent.
Because we're paying for it.
I'm not paying for it. Any other questions on the bills?
I have a couple of questions. We have 2 line items from T2, and I wanted to know what that's paying for.
Can I have
I think one is for the.
So,
One's for the-
the one for $1,500 is paper for the handouts. And then the other is the monthly bill with the lookups and different things like that. So it's for the current enforcement system.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
any other questions on the bills? Okay, so, do we have a motion and second to pay the bills? Okay, we have Duane and Ronnie, motion and second. We need a roll call vote on the bills, Jesse?
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Daskaludi.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Star.
Aye.
Boland.
Aye.
Carried.
I don't, has it over, John, by the way, was it?
Last time I saw it, I didn't see it there.
Okay. So now we get to our presentation from Star White House. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here tonight. Well, I know you have a loaded agenda, so we'll keep it as concise as possible. This presentation is a follow-up to the one that we presented a few months ago. This process has been divided into 3 phases. One, an inventory and analysis. Second, we've done a lot of outreach and community engagement since we last met. And finally, a concept plan. So we're here to present the final phases of the project. And Tim Webster will give the presentation where we will share the community engagement that we've done and the vision plan that is the whole goal of the project. I would suggest, if it's okay with the council, to turn off the light because the graphics read so much better. Right after. Is that okay?
Yeah, because of.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off the light.
This is one of the show, please.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, that's good. I'm done.
And again, this is the final presentation. We're gonna have a few more conversations with you and with the city to submit this to the Department of State as part of the DRI. So this is fulfilling some of the funding that was with that grant to do park remediation and park design. So it's for the historic inventory, for designing of a park, and for remediation of the shacks. So as Gail said, this presentation will be in the final report. We've already sort of discussed in our October presentation and through the community outreach. We're going to move very briskly through the inventory. So this is sort of the overall goals of how we got here, what we're doing. Recognizing that North Bay has historically, since the indigenous communities that inhabit the site have used this space. It's been very important to early Hudson development, for fishing, also today for connecting with nature, for gathering with friends, for fishing, recreation. But right now, the shacks present a risk to public safety. They are structurally unsound. They are made with hazardous materials, and overall, falling into the water that haven't been maintained and are threatened by flooding and climate change. So where we are now is about envisioning the space as a new public amenity that is safe, that is welcoming and inclusive to all, but still retains part of that history through educational signage, through maybe restoring some of the structures, but really seeing it as a public waterfront amenity that's different from some of the other parks and public spaces in Hudson. It's really a unique site. So this is the history of the project. Again, I'll kind of move on to the next part. This is all part of the early presentation we've shown. But again, there's steps here about once the city acquired the property from the state of New York, the sort of operations that got us through the SHPO, the DRI, the SHPO, acknowledgement that this is a historically significant site that requires documentation. And then this year we've had some activity with us, Star White House getting involved. Next slide. And just wanted to speak briefly. This is sort of a bigger master plan of North Bay open spaces that the Fergari, which I'll back up for a second. So the name Fergari, we've been sort of corrected and have conversations in our public outreach, is not an agreed upon term. So Shantytown is also a common use. So you'll see in the presentation we say Fergari/Shantytown, but whatever that name of that park is, can be something the community decides. So I'll just note that within the here to begin with. But again, back to the open space plan, we have the existing Empire State Bike Trail here, but with the potential of few sidewalks or safe connections to Charles Williams, which is in redevelopment, and future trail connections to Greenport, it really becomes a piece on this greater network connecting with the water and the city to these natural resources. And again, what Gail sort of got to early on with what we've done in this process. We've been working with the mayor, with the DPW, and Justin Weaver, the mayor's aide, with bi-weekly meetings since August. We did an early inventory analysis phase and did a presentation to the Common Council in October. And then really October, November were our times to do the community outreach. We've learned a lot from people who currently use the park, people who have ideas they'd like to see there. And then this last month and to the end of the year, we're developing this final vision report that will be submitted to SHPO to build the DRI guidelines. Again, I'll go pretty quick through there, the aerial of the site, history, again, very briefly, we talked about this earlier, just its importance throughout the early development of the city, and then with the railway lines, and the commercial fishery there, kind of collapsing with Hudson River development, became more of a recreational site, with the shacks and fish market eventually in the early or mid 20th century. Here's the existing site with the parcel line. So interestingly, there's a Dock Street extension here, and then the Amtrak line. And it's bordered on either side by, to the south with the waste treatment plant and Heights Nest Community Garden. There's the entry to the site. So again, you can see it's on the existing Empire State Trail garden, and then you can access the middle there. There's a great open lawn space that's currently getting a lot of use by Heights Nest. This is showing the road to the boat. The boat launch is right there, and the waste treatment plant is to the right. The existing boat launch, which we're told is actually not deep enough or has the right slope for launching, so some improvements there will need to happen for it to work effectively as a boat launch. And there's a very active fishing site there. Right now it's mostly catfish, but it's a very popular destination where people are currently gathering in the site of one of the historic shacks there. And you can see the buildings there in their current condition. We just want to note it's in the existing floodplain. If you live in Hudson, you've seen it flood in recent times. So that's only going to get worse with climate change. And here's a flood level, or sorry, sea level rise projection for sort of worst case scenario. Any sort of park remediation and park development, we need to consider this site is going to be underwater at some time. This is just touching on what Beth Saleh with Hudson Cultural Services, through the DRI, she's doing the inventory and the oral history component. Part of her work is also doing an assessment of the existing shacks, just seeing, an alternatives analysis study. Can they be moved? Can they be rebuilt? And the conclusion of her analysis was that, they present all these public health risks with the asbestos lead paint, their structure and compromise, lack of fire protection, and really the most effective thing is to remove them with the potential of saving some for historic value, but really giving it over to the city as a public entity. This is identifying some of the shacks that were hauled out by SHPO, which that they were historically significant and sort of best candidates for being rehabilitated, both for their condition and also historical significance. And this one out in the bay is one that could be mothballed, which essentially means just to stabilize it, kind of leave it as a ruin, a remnant that can be viewed from the mainland here, but wouldn't be accessible to the public. While these other ones that are on the mainland in yellow are candidates that could be repurposed in some other fashion that they do program. So that's the ones out in the bay that could be mothballed. And these two potentially could be refurbished. Just acknowledging that there's a letter of resolution between the city, the Department of State, and SHPO, or Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, sort of agreeing to the terms that if the city is going to remove these structures, and that there's an acknowledgement that they are historically significant, that there's documentation, that there's an oral history. These are all these sort of terms that Beth and Hudson Cultural Services will have to meet along with us at Star White House in a park that provides some kind of interpretive elements, signage, installation, these kind of things that can educate people on the history. So that was a lot of background, but that can all lead to build up to the pilot park design. So with the community outreach, we did 3 formats. We had a public roundtable at Spark Hudson on October 23rd. We had online survey, we had about 110 respondents, open for about a month. And then we also did workshops with Kites Nest, which is the neighbor next door with some of their youth who currently uses them. So we had a great turnout with a really diverse group of people, stakeholders. We had people who had grown up, attended, playing or with family at the Shantytown, people who currently use the site. We had representatives from Kites Nest, Columbia Electric, so there were a lot of stakeholders in the room and people just with general interest in this site. And really what we took away from the outreach was that people want a light touch. They don't want this to be too fancy, that kind of in quotes we heard that to maintain the spirit of the shack that was there, it needs to be simple, use recycled materials. It's about a connection to nature, but it needs to be made safe and accessible, which are things that it's not perceived to be. Yeah, there's ideas about inscribing things into the landscape, the footprints of the removed shacks, having, again, some memory of what was there, but also simple signage is, a simple enough way to communicate that history for people. But keep it light with concerns about gentrification and these sorts of things. And also concerns about it being too active, too crowded, too loud. This is something different from some of the other parks. It's about the connection to the water, the connection to nature and history. So keeping quiet spaces, passive spaces, as well as a few gathering areas that belong. So I'll quickly go through the online survey and stuff will be in the final report. But the shacks are the main reason people go there currently. Also experience nature are the top things that people do. Next slide. People go there by car. So even though there's not really any parking there formalized, people who drive their cars currently in the site. There's not great street parking. There's also very active trucks and things there for people who are walking on foot. So there's ways there we could potentially formalize car circulation, provide safer access. I know Kites Nest is also looking at crosswalk and signage in that area because they are developing their own campus with those sort of industrial areas next door. So any sort of signage or safety to access the park is important. This was an interesting word cloud. We asked people their feelings about the site today. So a lot of kind of negative things about safety, depressed, sad, some hopeful, but the idea of history and peaceful are some kind of positive things that can be carried over, but really strong feelings people have about the site as it is today. And then people asking what their future park should look like, educational, accessible, history, nature, community, with some common themes there. I won't get into all the sort of comments, individual comments, but people, we asked what their personal connection was, if they had family or history there. We got some great responses there. And again, what people want to see in a new park, shacks are still really important to the identity of this space, but how can we do that in a safe way and economically feasible way, in a way that's going to be maintained? That's the big challenge, and has been a challenge for a lot of people with this project for a long time. Fishing, also an important part of the park today, and should continue in that future park. Accessibility, kayak, etc. You can see that there. I've talked about naming earlier. We asked people what they thought of the name, so there's just a word cloud of different words that people are thinking. And again, I won't get into all these individual comments, but there is, just want to acknowledge it's not the majority. It's still an active voice, at least in the online correspondence and polling we had, was people just kind of still leave the shacks alone, leave what's there, stay the shacks. I know there's been active voices in Hudson for a while with those sentiments, but we were trying to look at the research and analysis already been done and look forward to how do we again preserve that spirit in the future park. And also the demographic things. Most people responding were from Hudson, Greenport, Colorado area. Yeah, one last slide. So again, we had some workshops with Kites Nest, and our big takeaway is interest in animals, nature, ideas about pavilions, about sort of reconstructing things in the form of shacks, but again, are safe, accessible, but having use. And then just this is our park design, sort of taking all that, sort of digesting the public outreach. We learned a lot from that, those conversations, and again, into sort of a concept plan that the city can then take to this Department of State to fulfill those DRI So these were the big themes that we took out from the analysis and outreach, and the goals that we sort of came together with after all of that. So maintaining a sense of place for the historic fishing village, possibly rehabilitating some existing shacks. Again, that's a big need, or sorry, big cost, but it's something people really want. So we'll have some sort of ideas for that. Signage and interpretive elements dedicated to the site's cultural and natural history. So that's important and also required by SHPO, again, as Department of State. That could just be simple sort of placards and signs throughout. People want a light touch. They don't want anything too sort of abstract. Thinking about the site as flooding or future climate change, planting it with resilient species that can be flooded. Accessibility and safety are, again, big themes that come up in outreach. Some idea of community gathering spaces, but also quiet spaces for a connection with nature. And then again, something that's easy to maintain and simple. That's the existing site. And then the next slide is our proposal for the park design. And next slide. So actually, I'm going to back home. So I'll go pretty quickly through this. So again, the big idea is what you're seeing here is a few of the buildings that were called out earlier preserved. This is actually a reconstructed picnic pavilion, a fishing platform in the area that people are currently fishing. The circulation is maintained. The idea is to maintain the vehicles in the parking area with some barriers and gates that can be used for emergency vehicle access, and then really scaling down some of the gravel paths for pedestrian use. Meanwhile, providing the pedestrian connection to Heights Nest Garden with maintaining the existing gate they have there, having a more open lawn that's enclosed by a looping path and some border planting here for safety. Again, I don't think I mentioned it, but safety with the Amtrak line is also a big concern to a lot of people. So negotiating with the Amtrak, whatever that needs to happen, but providing a fence and some planting area with access gate here. And then as you go out into the water, it's a bit more loose, a bit more natural. There's a smaller lawn, maybe there's a class or something that could be out there looking at nature, but this is a more relaxed, quieter space. And then what you see in these red footprints, we're just calling out as shack footprints for now, but they could be paving, they could be planting, new pavilion structures, whatever people, so just ideas, but holding that remnant footprint for the sort of future programming. Next slide. So materials, keeping it, again, suitable for the site, recycled materials, repurposed materials, natural materials. So the bulkhead articles will show you would be reconstructed and remove some of the timber that's deteriorating, replaced with a sheet pile, permeable paving, pavers that are recycled or reused in some way, and this is in the spirit of the shacks that were there and how they were used. Gravel paths with net soft edges, sort of monolithic repurposed wood seating, and then a timber rail here for fencing and vehicle control. So our themes of history, ecology, and community. For history, again, these shacks need to have some kind of purpose if they're going to be rebuilt or restored. One could be a bird blind, which is a way to observe wildlife while being obscured yourself. This one could be some kind of open air, quote unquote, museum or exhibition space, or have at least some kind of signage about the history of the shacks. This one would be a picnic pavilion, and there might be something new for kayak storage here, and then the whole structure. The blue dots are interpretive signage, so about the history of the site, and then some informational signage about tides, about boat safety, trailhead connection to the Empire State Trail. And again, just some precedent images. So here, just thinking about the shacks, and the history of the site, giving them a new use either through pavilion, shade structure, and basic signage, but maybe there's ways to describe some of those footprints in a very simple, economical way that gives it people an idea of what was there and a reminder of the past, but maintains the materiality of the space, or again, sort of sense of connection to nature and also the history of the site. And here's a rendering of the boat launch here, and then just very conceptual ideas of what these pavilions or rebuilt structures might be. We're removing a lot of buildings because they're not safe, but we're also able to provide new plantings, sort of softer edge connection back to the bay, but then those remnant buildings can maintain a sense of place. Then for ecology, the planting we're suggesting is really about creating edges, edges with the Amtrak line, with the wastewater treatment plant here, kind of low shrubs up in front, and then the wetland floodable areas at the water's edge. But there is an existing sort of bulkhead, seawall here, timber rails that would be removed and sort of reconstructed, but this would be a soft edge. Again, providing accessibility is something that people ask for. It's really important to the site that's not there now. So there's certain railing types for ADA fishing you could provide with that fishing platform. A place like a classroom, small classrooms could do sort of nature classes, science about nature for ecology, again, bird line that sort of resembles a shack, and maybe nesting or some kind of habitat, and then opportunities for connection with nature. Here's a rendering. This is North Bay as is now, but providing, again, safe access at the current site of the fishing spot. There's some signage integrated with that as well. Connections. So for community, again, vehicles are limited to the parking lot area here, and then we have a sort of timber rail system that's keeping cars within, but accessible through bikes as well. So there's, again, maintaining that height test connection, but you can start to have sort of a loop path here system that connects you to some of the buildings. And here it's sort of passing through the footprint of that remnant footprint building that could become paving or planting, sort of, again, very high concept level of this phase. Sort of, again, open active lawn spaces, connections with the water, sort of path system, loop systems that are paved, connections to the Empire State Trail. And even though people want this to be a quiet space connected with nature, there's still an existing open lawn, sort of adjacencies that could allow for a bit of more active gathering and play areas that are a distance from more natural end. Here's a rendering here. So this is showing the Hudson River beyond the picnic pavilion, and the fishing area is just beyond that. And then kite nest is to the left here. So this is the gate and the rail that would be the pedestrian access, and an open lawn enclosed by a looping path. So it's sort of what's there now, but just kind of scaling it more for pedestrians. All right, wrapping up, thank you. So next steps, so again, we're happy to have any questions from you, or taking further comments from the Common Council. We're gonna have another check-in meeting with the mayor and DPW and Justin Weaver about what we submit to the Department of State to fulfill that DRI. There's a few more slides here just about sort of timelines. So that's gonna happen in January. We'll have hopefully submit it to the Department of State, or the city will submit it. Hudson Cultural Services is doing the historical documentation and oral history. They'll need to submit that before any demolition or remediation happens. But potentially in summer 2025, with State Department approval, the city could start performing site cleanup and implementing sort of an early action plan with this concept plan while maintaining those existing buildings. We also call out just potential funding sources. Again, this is a further conversation we can have, but things about accessibility, about waterfront access, there's different sort of buckets that you can start to pull from too. All right, that's, yeah, that's it. So you can go last slide with the plan, and if you have any questions.
Okay.
Have you discussed this with Kaiser?
Yes, so we had 2 workshops with them. They're actually on the call now.
Okay,
And they've been to our, yes, we had a conversation.
so they're okay with the plan?
Yeah, yeah, we sort of workshopped it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
How big that picnic pavilion?
How big? Right now it's maybe 20 by 30. It has 3 picnic tables inside of it. That's what it's scaled for.
So from my understanding, when we have storm surge and the sewage plant is overwhelmed, it feeds into the,
Yes, there's a CSO right there too, yeah.
so, I mean, obviously, I think that's still happening. And how does that impact all of this?
Well, yeah, everything needs to be, any sort of structure probably needs to be raised. We understand this site is flooded now, and that part of it is, adjacent to the sewage treatment plant. So we're aware of that, but it's still sort of high level concept. What are your concerns?
There's no active, one of the things we talked about with Kite's Nest and with the city is we're not actually making get downs into the water. People kayak there now. You choose when you kayak, but it's more about being next to the water. It's not, we're not promoting swimming or anything like that. So there's a certain amount of separation between the park and the water because of that. And it's existed, for decades like that. So I think, the park itself is going to have to evolve over time with what the sewage treatment plant is a bigger issue. Like at some point, that's also going to be underwater. So I think, it acknowledges, I think some people ask for, good smelling plants on that side, but this is, when you have a really big storm event, it's also not going to coincide with when you're having a gathering because.
Right, or a picnic?
Yeah, exactly.
So, can we get the link back on just for the camera?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's a top.
it's good thing, but thing is, it's a park, so next to it is Amtrak. What's the safety you guys are thinking about it?
Yeah, we are
You're gonna have a lot of people, a lot of kids involved
Yeah.
in the park and
We had
activities, so,
incidents to them driving the fishing people.
yeah.
Yeah, I know, Kite's Nest definitely, they're currently using the park and they're concerned about that. We are proposing a fence. We haven't, anything like that would need to go through Amtrak. The city property, we're showing this as the fence, basically the edge of the rail, but the property is kind of doing a little
Now,
cut there. So, again, that would sort of be worked out legally, what's implemented, but providing some fencing with planting as a sort of buffer to the rail line. But as Gail was saying, sort of with the water access as well, that's a safety concern with kids and the currents and the tides. So really, with sort of railings, with planting, the only sort of water access is the boat launch, which is there now. But there need to be warning signs for the tides, all these sorts of things. So sort of about controlling circulation, not encouraging get down, as Gail said. Yeah, there's a lot of sort of conflicting things colliding here, but it still is, if you've been down there, it's a really unique part of the city that you feel kind of, you're stepping out of the city into another world, or into the past, into the natural day there.
Right, because there's a sewage treatment plant and also the former City Hudson dump, which is there too, and they're not there check. So, I mean, has the water been tested? I mean, you don't want to, obviously you're not encouraging people to go into the water other than the boat launch, but we don't want people to go into the water. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Posted that there's no swimming, no unauthorized swimming. I mean, it's about access to it, but it's not it's for boating, it's for bird watching, shop work.
Yeah, the water linked to the river, so if it's like
Yeah.
not good, that's when river being. No.
I mean, I think that, these questions are really good ones and can be the basis for, the next level of study, do some sediment testing, do some water testing and, get some science around it. I think that's, a lot of the kids were interestingly asking similar questions, like they wanted to know, are the birds gonna be okay? Are they were very interested in, it's kind of touching, they were very interested about the vulnerability of flooding and the vulnerability of wildlife. So, making it this protected cove that is different from other parks, it's not an active recreation area, it's somewhere where you really see the tide going in and out, when it's low, it's really low, and you can only fish at high tide, and we learned a lot about you really feel that connection to the river there that you don't feel in other areas, so really celebrating that. One of the last slides, there are grants from DEC for research, for the estuary about accessible, for the boat launch and things, so they're, really focusing on education and ecology is a theme that could actually help implement some of the things that are there. So you use those questions as a way to go further.
Thank you.
Do we have access to this?
So I think what we're gonna do is, we have the final report that's gonna go to the city's gonna approve and go through the Department of State, and that will be made public. This material, a version of it has been out.
Jen, this is already on the city
Oh,
website.
it's on.
I think the earlier presentation is, we want to add just a little bit more, wordsmith it a little bit more, get feedback from tonight, and then deliver something that could be, could potentially use also to leverage funding.
There is any electricity in there, like, sometimes it's dark, people go for fishing in the early morning.
Well, I know there was, sort of jerry-rigged, like, electric
Yeah.
that ran in there when the shacks were habited, which I think has since been removed,
Yeah.
but,
But people didn't want lighting, like Tim said, people specifically said, we don't want a fancy park. Like, we want a place that you can, the covered pavilion was universally desired, and having some kind of interpretation about what was there, and being able to just experience the fact that people didn't want it to be too busy, like not encouraging night use. It's like, let it be a kind of,
It's not a fancy, like,
Yeah.
when it's
Like,
dark, it's sort of safety also.
yeah, I
Number
think,
one, number two, at this position, which it is right now, a lot of people come from New York City for fishing in Ashland.
mhm. And so really make it.
They come by Amtrak and goes by
Yeah.
Amtrak and fishing in.
Yeah, so safety, accessibility, I think, I take back the lighting partially. What could happen is if there is a trailhead there, at the very least, you could have a street light or something so that at dusk, you can see to your car, security can see in the park. But I think the intention is not to, especially in the floodplain, the last thing you want to do is to go in and install
Our park's
underground conduit. just
Our
doesn't-
park's closed at dark.
Yeah, so I think making it feel safer and more, making it so that people feel welcome there. Right now, you don't necessarily know that it's even a park. There is a sign that says North Bay Access Point, and there's some rules on there actually about swimming and.
There's any rules like, this time to this time people can fishing and
Yeah.
after this they cannot.
Yeah, I mean, that's, part of what the city needs to formulate, and the Department of Environmental Conservation also has really good information about, what you can and can't eat from the river, and, so, the DEC could probably participate in some of the signage, and information that people could get when they go there.
So I think in the interest of time, unless there are any other pressing issues, does anyone else have more they want to ask, or I think we need to move on? Thank you very much for coming. and
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Where's your sign card?
So next we're moving on to, resolution.
Right in the middle. Right,
Um,
right here, yeah.
The first resolution that we have, relates to the addendum to the lease agreement to the commercial lease with Dunn LLC, Dunn Warehouse. I think we may want, this is something that we received today. I'm not sure that we have had sufficient time to review the issues. Is there a consensus that we should be tabling this for now, for
Yes.
further review?
Yes.
Does anyone object to tabling?
Do we need a
We
motion?
need a motion.
I'll make a motion table.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page with this. So we have a motion from Dominic to table, do we have a second? Gary, you second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we're going to move on, we have a number of straightforward resolutions here. Appointing Commissioner of Fees, can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Is Councilmember Roberts in attendance online?
I haven't seen her.
No, she got family issues.
Thank you. Roney.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
The next resolution is memorandum of understanding accepting donations from January to December 2025 for the Friends of the Youth. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Next is authorizing acceptance of donations to the youth department. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
And we have accepting senior center donations.
Yes, we just
We
need roll call.
just need roll call vote on this,
Yes,
please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
So this one, do we need
Yeah, that's right.
So next item, we need an introduction and second for authorizing the mayor to sign a lease agreement between the city and Pocket Bus Factory. This relates to the parking issue, the 1 year parking lease for Pocket Bus. So do I have an introduction as one second? Do we have a second? Sure, Sean? I can't see over the pavement.
Yeah, I have to reach out, you have to reach out.
So, can we have a roll call? Is there any questions on the pocketbook lease? We've discussed it in the past, okay.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Next, we need introduction and second, authorizing the mayor to execute agreement with dog control officer. Introduction. Sure, Sean. Second, go on. Roll call vote.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Next, again, need introduction and second to authorize the mayor to enter into a contract with Columbia Green Humane Society. We have a introduction. Sure, Sean, second is one. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Next is authorizing agreement with Azalar for a change in short-term software tracking system. Can we have an introduction and second? Sure, Sean, introduction and second. Running a second. I want to comment on this because in the last meeting I had some questions about this. I met with Michelle last week to go over some of my questions. Specifically, I had, raised a question about the ownership of the work product. This is a, software that interfaces with the treasurer software where she does billing for short-term rental taxes. They get an Excel file. My concern was if we have this registry and inventory of the rentals, if we didn't renew them, we might lose that information. But they will be getting monthly files, so there is no concern about losing information that we have purchased. Additionally, it will eliminate a lot of the manual work that they're currently doing, so it will be more cost effective. And it also is less expensive than the software that they currently have, where they still have to do a lot of manual work. So those are the questions that I have. We went through everything. I didn't have anything. I don't know if anyone else has any questions on that particular
Thank you
topic.
for asking those questions. I appreciate it.
So do we have a roll call?
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sarar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Next is accepting donation from the Devereux Foundation in the amount of 100 on behalf of the fire department. We need an introduction and second from the Sure Shop and one, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sarar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, next we have resolution authorizing transfer of funds within Public Works, Cemetery, Water and Sewer Department. Can we have an introduction and second? We have someone, I'm sure shall. Any questions on this? Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sarar.
Aye.
And Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay. Next is authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement with CSEA to create a new title of administrative assistant in the Department of Public Works. Can we have an introduction in a second? Do it go on, Kershaw? This is something that I know was discussed during the budget process. This is an administrative assistant in the DPW area. Any questions on this? No. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sarar.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Next is authorizing transfer of funds within the parking bureau to cover the cost of two parking handheld ticket machines. We need an introduction in second. Don't be shy. Go on. Any questions on this? Okay, roll call please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Castellucci.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sarar.
Aye.
And Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Next is accepting my Starter grant funds for electric vehicle charging stations. Can we have an introduction in a second? Introduction, Volo, second, Duan. And I would like Volo to explain some of this. to us.
So, as chair of the CAC, the Conservation Advisory Council, we just received this is a third grant of the year for $87,500, which will be additional car charging, to be used for additional electric vehicle car charging stations, similar to what we have outside right now behind City Hall. There's the 3 stations with 6 ports, 2 ports for each station. Then we're going to get a duplicate of that down by the Amtrak station, which we charge people to use. The city pays for it. We charge people now like $1.75 an hour to charge. Those are level 2 charging stations, okay? So we'll be getting 3 additional down by the Amtrak, 6 ports. Great. The other thing that we're looking to do as well is implement a level 3 charging station behind City Hall. So the level 2 gives people 25 miles an hour, right? I can tell you this, So, but the level 3 gives about 100 miles an hour more. This will be the non-Tesla charging station, but Tesla has an adapter. So anyway, so that's what we're looking to do. That 87.5 is going to be used there. Total this year, the CAC, we brought in over $100,000 in grants We got $5,000 for the light bulb exchange, which will be happening in the spring. We got the $15,000 with the electrical lawn equipment, which is already bought and purchased, and they're using it now. And then this will be going through the 87.5, will be going through, the implementation process is about a year or so, but we're looking at the next year's timeframe.
Well,
Yeah, problem.
Rich, you would like the electric cars.
Good, just fill out the forms.
Yeah.
That's it. Just fill out
That's
the
the-
forms. The
that's the
money's
important
there.
Yeah.
What happens is that they actually do keep track, so that every, when DMV signs up, Hudson DMV signs up more electric cars, they keep track and then they give you money for charging stations. So.
Oh, it's based on,
So it's
How many
similar,
registered
but you have to sign up for the program. So you sign up for the program and, and then, right.
that's good to know.
So, yeah.
I have, I mean, maybe not the right forum. This is independent of the funding that you've done already. The 3 spaces, are they going to be essentially taken away, the spaces?
No, it goes in the center.
It goes in the center.
So it'll be on either side.
On both
There's a-
sides, like,
There's space for it.
No, I mean, in the sense that usually when you have electrical car charging, it's usually while you're charging, you're parked there. Is this going to be a part of the Amtrak,
Parking.
payment system, parking system?
I mean,
Well, it's probably a question for parking.
right,
Or
for parking, but yeah, I mean, usually then we'll find a spot for them so that
Yeah.
it doesn't interfere. But yeah, usually the electric car spots, but people do use them. And I think down by the Amtrak station, especially because it's overnight charging, so I think
Yeah.
people use it. I mean, here, people use it, so, yeah, anyway.
okay. Anything else? Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Gaspaluti. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roni.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Next is authorizing acceptance of Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, JAG grant from Bureau of Justice Assistance, BJA, and authorizing corresponding budget amendment. Introduction and second. Duan? Do we have a second? Chair Shaw? Any questions on this one? This, I believe, is going to say for a data system, correct? I believe that was. This is a grant that the police department got cover.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So can we have roll call vote?
Councilmember Belton. Aye. Gaspaluti. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roni.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
And Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
Next is authorizing executed employment agreement by the mayor with David Miller of police captain. So we have an introduction, Duan, second. Shearshaw. We just received this one today, I think. So I did check on the budget issue here, and the current police budget does cover this, so there is no budgetary concern on this particular item.
Yeah, it's covered with the budget, yeah, budget.
Yeah, I checked with
Yeah, I
Michelle.
looked at too, yeah.
So the current budget covers it, so it is not a budgetary issue. Does anyone have any questions on that?
So this is like 2 co-captains situation?
No, there's gonna be there's gonna be a captain and 2 lieutenants.
Yeah.
He's currently a lieutenant.
Captain, 2 lieutenants.
He's like a lieutenant, and this is a promotion. Any other questions? Okay, can we have roll call?
Councilmember Belton. Aye. Gaspaluti. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Nissan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roni.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Carried.
So we have 3 local laws. We will not be voting on these this evening. This is just to put them on our desks. The first is relating to the child daycare facilities, which we discussed, I believe, at our last meeting. We just need a motion and a second to lay the proposed law on our desks. We have Jenny as a motion second, with your shop. Any questions on the daycare? I think we discussed it. The next one relates to interference, with city officers. Can we have an introduction and second to lay this on our desk? We have Jenny and Shershaw. And Crystal, do you want to give us, I know that you made a couple of changes since the last time we saw. Do you want to just give us a summary of those changes?
Sure. So what you'll see is under the legislative intent, I addressed some of the concerns that were raised regarding the freedom of speech. So the last sentence is new, that references that the law is not intended to, nor it does otherwise affect the right of freedom of speech or expression that's afforded under New York State or federal law. The other changes I made are down underneath section B. What I did is I amended what was the subsection A, that this was the section that was pre-existing in the city code. Yep, that's exactly it. Looks like I've got an errant comma in there that needs to come out. But otherwise, there were some concerns about the requirement of individuals having to assist police officers or city officers in the apprehension of individuals or serving the process. So what I did is I just took out the assist part and left the rest in. And I think those are the two main changes that were made. Yes.
Okay. Anybody got any questions? Okay, thank you, Crystal. Next local law is amending the lodging tax. This is something, again, that we had discussed in the past. It was approved by the state. We need a motion and second to put this on our desks.
I just had a comment.
Excuse me?
I had a comment.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, just FYI, folks, this is from the finance committee that just went earlier. The lodging tax for 2023, we received $528,000. In 2024, the budget amount was $632,500. Now, that was the budget for 2024. The actual for 2024 that would take it in so far is only 60% of the budget, which is $380,000. So we're looking at a decrease in lodging tax by around $250,000.
Yeah, pretty significant.
Right, and that's because of multiple issues. The sunsetting of various, extensions of Airbnbs and other lodging facilities. So we are looking at like a significant, like I said, 60% revenue in shortfall.
And even given that that number is, it lags a little because the taxes, we wouldn't get the full number until sometime in the first quarter, but it is still below anticipated.
Are you saying that's because there's less short-term rental
Yes,
units
we have
active?
67, 69 short-term units, short-term rental units active now, as opposed to, a few years ago where we had probably double.
And when the law went into effect, there was a sunset period, which is coming up now, so that the ones that were given a grace period of 2 or 3 years to wrap up their business, that it's now out.
Good news for the city.
So that's when we got more rental property then?
Possibly, or people living here.
Yeah, if it's a rental property, then people you have to effort to rent.
There's no guarantee somebody goes to small phone.
People just sell too.
Yeah.
People just sell.
So this increases the lodging tax to 5%. I believe it's currently at 4%. So do we have a motion and second to later on that? So we have Lon and second is Shershaw. Thank you. New business, I just want to make an announcement that I'm sure you're all aware that Claire Cousin, effective yesterday, resigned as the First Ward County Supervisor. The process for replacement is that, so effective date of resignation was yesterday's 15th. Process for replacement is that the council needs to vote on a replacement not sooner than 10 days after the resignation and no later than 20 days after the resignation. So any resident in the First Ward who is interested should submit a brief resume and a statement to the City Council President at citycouncilpres@cityofhudson.org. There will be a special meeting on the 3rd of January to consider anyone who has come forward to replace Claire in the first ward. Any questions?
Is there a cutoff date for the applications?
Excuse me?
Is there a
Oh,
cutoff?
actually, thank you. December 30th.
December 30th. Thank you.
Yes.
I would say if someone's interested, they should email all of us, because we're all gonna be, if someone is interested in
Yeah, we
filling a
should know.
position, they can email all of us, since all of us.
All
will be-
council members,
Certainly
yeah.
email Garrett and myself.
Well,
Right,
yes,
Karen?
first ward, yes.
Well, the key is that whoever it comes to, we should be distributing, make sure everyone gets to see it. Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm sure Tom will forward it. I think it's making it easier for the public to
Yeah.
apply to
Sure.
work
We
space.
don't want to have to put 10 names
Yeah.
into an email. Yeah, so that's one announcement. The other, as you're all aware, last week, I believe, I sent an email to everyone on the council and to Crystal asking for some guidance relating to the process for charter reform. And we were directed that Crystal was not to provide anything at this point. So I reached out to NICOM, trustee NICOM. They sent me a handbook relating to the process for charter reform in municipalities, which I will send out to all of you. It's, as you know, petitions are currently being gathered. When sufficient petitions are signatures are gathered, that will be put before us. We have 60 days to act or not act. If we do not act, then additional signatures can be gathered and it can be put on the ballot. So I would send this document out to you. If we do act and decide that we want to have, say, a citywide town hall or something like that, that does not mean that we would necessarily vote to put it on the ballot. But I'd like you all to think about how we should prepare ourselves when that does eventually come before us. I believe we all have copies of it, so go ahead and read it and ask questions of the folks who put it together. But I will send out the document that I received from the.
That's in addition to this one.
I don't know what that is.
This looks like it's a New York State document.
Oh, this is something then probably that Tom used.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have a copy of that. Because I'm not in the corner. Oh, it is, okay. I'll have to check and see if what my content is different. Yeah, so, yeah, just think about it, and, if a money comes before us, then we can.
Well, Margaret, is it your understanding that even if we were to act on it, obviously if we don't approve the charter, they still have the option to put it on a referendum?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So it's not
Correct.
that if we do not act on it, they have.
No, I
Their ability
believe,
to put it on
I will confirm that with my account, but I believe if we decide that we are going to say, no, you cannot, we're voting this down.
Yeah.
They still have the option to collect additional signatures
Yeah,
and put it on the ballot.
right.
And I believe that is how fair use will work, correct, Karen?
That's how,
That's how fair
Yeah,
use
and
will work.
Yeah.
Because additional signatures were gathered and then it went on the ballot.
I just wanted that.
No, yeah, but I think the other process is that if we engage with the subject, we have the potential to have a citywide
Yes,
town hall.
I think it's in our-
An opportunity to speak.
I think it's in the city's best interest for us to take this up.
So I think about it and take a look at it. I will look at the document from Tom and I'll also send out to everybody what I got from them. Yep,
We have public comment or question.
okay, yep, I think it's Ron Kapnicki has the hand raised.
A
go ahead.
question. Yes. As I understand it, the proposal for charter revision cannot be amended. It has to be voted up or down by you without any amendments. Am I correct about that?
I would have to get clarification on that from NICOM.
So then,
That was one of my follow-up questions to them from what they sent me.
were there to be a town hall, the public would be able to comment on the proposal as it stands, but there could be no, if I'm right, there could be no possibility of amending it.
And again, I need to follow up. I had a conversation with the lawyer at NICOM, and that question came up afterwards, so I wanted to follow up with him and get clarification on that.
Okay, so then if anyone favored charter revision but didn't favor this particular proposal, then that would require some kind of counter proposal.
I can't answer that. And
Okay.
Right at this point, it hasn't come before us, so I think it's premature to have too much of a discussion about the content of what is there right now. I just wanted to put it out there that we need to start thinking about the process.
Okay, thank you very much.
I think, Margaret, I think that point, since we have Crystal on the line, we should get a clarification on. We're working under the presumption that we either say yes or no, then there's no room for us to think of potential
I don't
alterations.
know that we're working on that.
There's a charter commission that we can establish.
Right.
And I believe that becomes a working group that would allow for.
Yes.
It's not just a yes or no, because there are three different pathways.
Right.
in the charter reform.
So the reason Ron is under that impression is because the people that put this proposal together advertised it as not something amendable.
Correct.
So we need to like establish, which is,
Correct.
you know, in
So, Crystal, I don't want to put you on the spot here because I know this is not a topic that you have taken.
even if it's something she gets back to us about.
Hold on. So there are different mechanisms to pass charter reform. Charter commission is one of them. With respect to a charter revision, a citizen's petition, which I believe is what you're discussing right now, is what's being proposed in the city. I do think it is, you're either approving it or denying it or taking no action on it. I don't think there's a mechanism for an amendment in that process. I would have to double check that, but if the council ever wants to, go down a path of exploring charter revisions, there are other mechanisms to do that beyond and aside from that citizen's petition.
Correct. So Crystal, the piece I wanted to follow up with my comment on was, if in the event that there is public input and the group that has put together this charter document, do they have the ability to amend it and put it on the ballot, or do they have to put on the ballot what it is people have signed the petition to put on the ballot?
I believe they'd have to get signatures again. I think if they were going to amend the proposal, they'd have to go back and get the petition signed again.
That was my sense of it, but I will confirm that.
I mean,
Yeah,
the other option is we could just do our own charter reform. as well.
correct. That was correct.
Well, it may not be enough time though to be on the, with Joe, that's the problem.
Mhm.
I think.
But I don't want to get too far into the discussion here. I just wanted to put out there, let's all think about process. We probably have a couple of months before this is before us. And just, be ready with what we think we should do. Any other new business? I think Ron's hand is still up. I don't know whether that's a new comment or whether he just found it. That's right.
Sorry, I forgot to lower it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Any other new business? Sorry, motion.
to adjourn.
Yes, second.
Yes.
Jenny, second. Okay, thank you all very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret.